We would be taking offense in some manners, as you would, if we were human. But since we don't understand that relationship to life, we cannot be offended. Offense shows you something, does it not? Tommy was at a store today with Roxy. They were shopping. Not themselves. A friend wanted Roxy's fashion taste. Invited Roxy, since the class was not able to go. Invited Roxy to go to lunch and do a little shopping and help pick her out some outfits and stuff. She was in this idea called Alter States, a store. She's in a store and they're back in the changing area. It's very nice. It's got curtains and chairs. It's comfortable. It's very soft, feminine, what women like, that approach, you know, as opposed to, you know, the straight and narrow of the male vibration, if you would call it that in some fashions. Anyways, Roxy's trying on this one top. This was a cute little tank top. So she goes and tries it on, and Roxy has Tom sit down in this area, and Debbie's in there trying her shirts on and stuff. And then the lady takes Tommy and asks him to leave. And Roxy overhears that. And Tommy just walks outside. He leaves the store. And Roxy about lost her mind. Because it's an all-woman store. So, you know, we have other patrons, is the term. We have other patrons that might be offended. So this fucking cunt has the audacity to fucking speak to Roxy about what she thinks about other people. You see? See the rage? That's offended. Because she challenged Roxy. So Tommy is this most innocent being. Everyone is all love and harmony here. What the fuck is wrong with you? You just take this guy and you kick him out? And I said, where'd he go? Roxy goes, where'd he go? I know she's here. Went out, you know, I told him that he could sit down. I said, you know, he has autism. And he kept walking right outside. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. And, you know, she panics. I said, don't apologize, you fucking separatist. See? Because she was offended. Roxanne offended. Because the human vibration is so taxing. And you're going to understand that. You're going to really start to see how taxing it is to be human when you are no longer relating to the drama, to your queendom, to the way you have been. Another little guy called Roxy the other day and said, I got this, and I got this, and I got this. And Roxy said, call me. And he calls, and he has some bullshit name. What's your name? Gets the name. And he couldn't even say the problem because he's ready to leave the fear, ready to leave the pain, ready to leave the beliefs. He's ready. And Roxy just kicked it in the ass and put it in overdrive and showed him what a big baby he was. So she gets offended when people don't know the beauty of themselves. How long do you guys want to keep relying on others to define your reality? How many of you really talk yourselves into because others are truth? How many of you convince yourself by sharing your ideology over and over and over in the same thing to try to believe it yourself? All this shit you're talking about today is beliefs. It's a function of separated. Of course, you know, we don't have to reiterate. You guys are separated, but you're really not. We don't want to have your mind always trying to correct. So Roxy found her anger, saw that, went outside, let it pass. And of course, Tommy's over it. Tommy's now. He's like, well, whatever. He's on to the next idea. But Roxy holds on to things. We all hold on to things, don't we? Grudges, time, you know, how people were, what people are. You're expecting them to see the same. So you have fears about that. See, all of these are ways you relate to reality as human. And being offended is one of them. One lady wrote Roxy, it says, Roxy, you were a great channeler. You're awesome. But you really need to not cuss so much. You really need to slow down and start to be heavenly so we all can get to heaven. And I know you know this is the truth. Every day, people tell her what's wrong with her. They challenge her. They challenge you. It's not challenging when it's unnoticed as a challenge, isn't it? Because what they're coming at you is just complete bullshit if they're bringing you drama. See, it's not noticed if it's your natural, the truth of you. But if you notice that they're bringing drama in your life, that's when you got to be something of a master, I would say. Don't be offended because they are lost. And that's what Roxy has to see. How can she be mad at blind people? You're not blind in the ideology, but there you are, separated, and your truths are absolutely limiting because the 1 second, the very now you choose to take a truth that is not yours, then you sustain your blind. You sustain others more than yourself. How can you not stand completely on your own? Go ahead, bullshit me. Anybody. I fucking dare you to bullshit me about how you need another. The individual singularity is the entire whole, all inside of you, everything. So you need nothing to be whole. And you have to remember you are that. And the only way to do that is to rid yourself, if you want to use that word, of your extreme ideas of worry, discontent, offense, whys and why nots, wonders. Roxy's ready. She wants something new. She wants to feed. She's ready to feed. But what's the relationship? Is what you got to ask yourselves when you are ready for something of change. Is the master realizing its own lack of change? Is it hoping for change, or is it allowing for change? Lack would be, I'm tired of this place. I want something else. Hope would be, I deserve more. Maybe we should do that. Allowance is it shows up priceless and effortlessly upon your doorstep. But then brings in patience, the master of patience, to allow nows to play. And your mind is so busy trying to fix you and share, and you want to get this out. You want to be human without being human. It's the only way you know how to relate to reality. This is your mojo as you are, as you were, but not as you shall be. You never can be, shall be. You only be what you are. Shall be is time, and illusionary is potential. So what Roxy understood was she's mad at somebody for not understanding. To follow the rules. Why can't humans just understand how beautiful each and every one is? Well, guess what? You can't expect them to do that. You can't expect them to have that. You can't expect anyone to have your point of view, which brings a commandment in of courage to say I'm enough on my own truths. And I don't need to be cited in particular offenses or righteousness. I do not need to be cited and divisionary against my brethren. Because if I seek comfort in division, then I shall remain myself as I am. And each I am is uniquely creation, immeasurable. Don't you know you have created all that is already and evermore now? Don't you see the beauty, the pain, the sorrow, the suffering, the relating to humanity, the shedding of it, the excruciating pain, the tearing away of the tendons and the ligaments, the bone structures of humanity crumbling, causing an immense amount of pain to flow through you, of rage and anger? Is the whole being its perfect, unconditional? Who before me has the power to judge creation? All of you, as your truth. It's where it gets sticky and foggy, where the lines are blurred, and you don't understand your position as this truth. When you don't know how you can be it with no, that's right, Roxy, you can choose that. It's okay to be yourself. When does it end? The question begs. When do you guys know it's okay to be, I don't need to talk about what I know? I don't need to fall back on a safety net. I don't need a guide anymore. Guides are a relationship of an unguided God. You have never been guided. Your truth has been chosen as a potential in all nows. Congruency of time gives you the illusionary relation to humanity as I'm being guided forward in time on the decisions offered from this idea. But that guide is a co-creation. It has you, it has Tommy Jean, it is Jennifer, it is Karen, it is Abraham, it is Seth, it is everybody in there, all mixed in this one fucking badass moment of now. And you give your authority to that. And that's the human perspective. So to relate as a God, the quintessential you that is unmistakable, immeasurable, boundless, untethered and chained, creation in and of itself must be accepted by the conscience of you. The fear is gripping. It is easy to depress yourself. It is easy to look about. Why does Roxy have to keep having money, she says. Why do I need money? Why do we have to play with money? Why do we have to play with separation? Because she sees the pain everyone keeps her in. It's not her job. And you guys will find the pain of your parents, of your friends, of you. The pain of limiting yourself. Why do we have to have these means of exchange? And then they control your money. Everything is control. And Roxy grows to abhor humanity's traits as, at one time, her absolute pleasure. How can she be such two divisionary selves of discovery from what was to what is, yet contain the equal rage in herself about the pain people are choosing? But she remembers the blindness that she was. She sees the blindness in everybody. The blindness that we all came to journey here to see what is possible as a painful God, a forgotten God. And then the natural knows one thing: to pay no homage to the parallel lives of yesteryear, to give no credence to an authority outside of you as a master, to know that I, Leviticus, is the same as you. I have never been anything other than what I am, and I will not be contained in my wizardry. I will not be contained in my future or my past. I cannot be analyzed by my own experiential mind, because I am that of whole, and I see nothing but my perfection evolving. It was said one time, as a theorist upon your planet, that creation would end if perfection was attained. Creation cannot end when perfection is. So which tells you that humans can judge. They can speak a truth of division. They can label a truth, and it hurts you when it's challenged, when it bumps against your friction, when it bumps again against your border. Oh, look at that one. This is new. Look, everybody. I poop glitter. Now, you gotta love that. When you bump up against a vibration, because you're being now, and what happens is you get this feeling that is not harmony. That is not the everlasting flow of the now. When you find that structure in place, it is that of opportunity. Not to questions on why. When your abundance grows low, Janet, your husband starts to speak his ideas of fear, and it hurts you in obligation and lessens you in failure if you're not performing part of the team. Structure And you're bumping up against that reality and going, why do I have to feel this way? Why must I feel pain? Because it is recognition, and the emotion gives you the challenged self. Let's look at opposition for this. The emotion gives you the challenged self. Let's look at the opposition of the challenged self for a second. When you take action on preventing the challenged self, then you contain your pain to a numbing factor that's immeasurable. And the pain you receive, guys, in everyday occurrences of realizations, revelations, is bumping up against the containment field that's protecting the identity of you. The one that wants to say, I would really like to be God, but I don't want to be God because that means I have to accept that. And I know it's going to hurt to be that awesome. I know it's going to hurt to be that beautiful because I have been so unworthy and so used to my own demise. It has been such an easy way to live in pain that it is too daunting for me to bestow my own beauty on myself. So I'll delay it by reaching out and finding some kind of drama in my life, by executing self-sabotage once again. So next time I'll do a little bit better at it. Or I'll just talk someone's ear off and tell them how awesome I am, but I really don't want to accept it because if I do, I can't talk about it anymore. Because then where will I be? I'll be no identity. Leviticus is a portion of me. As Seth said before, oh yeah, I kind of remember Seth. Yeah. But the identity is so strong and so real, it would be sinful to give it up. It's the strength of eternal hellfire. It is the daunting fear of forever torment. Because it means you're connected again. It means you're going to be all that is. And I can tell you this with a master's heart, that no one's going to know except you what it is to be whole. You can never put it on paper. It can never be duplicated. It can never be mimicked. It can never be emulated. It can't be copied. It must be chosen. So another thing is no one knows what it looks like. Oh, you have books about it. You have misinterpretations from human filters about what it is. But no one has seen it. If you haven't seen it and you're here and now, if you're not the experience of a remembrance, then know it is something in time that needs no attention. I cannot be contained, and you can't be contained. Colton has to accept he's got a talent. And the talent doesn't need to be justified by his earnings of his talent. But yet, his democracies, the rules, the structures that he put into place as an identity say, yes, it does, Colton. You have to be successful. You have to show the people that you are worthy. So is Colton enough to stand on his own, despite how many times he wants to destroy himself through his anger? Is he allowed to have someone love him, although he doesn't know how to love himself? He's very angry that someone's loving him for no cause, for no money, for no structure of identity fulfilled. It is so powerful. It's the will of God. All of fucking creation. All of it. Every ounce of creation is coursing through the structure of Colton. And here he is, an aware God within a structure that's going to tear it down. And he will endure his own idea of pain. Because the pain is the release of unworthy. And worthiness is built in, it's remembered. It's never earned. Colton, you can't make enough money to earn your worthiness. Sure, you can have a boatload of money and very successful, but you're alone in the dark right before you fall to bed, and your mind's running 1,000,000 miles an hour on how to maintain an image for the next day so you can have your drug-induced coma reinforced. You can change by accepting. Just by being Colton, you attract realities of experience. Just by being Colton, an individual as significant and insignificant to each and any one as this fucking pencil has been chosen to exist because the pencil exists. The pencil's being a pencil. It is an awareness experiencing itself. And the components of the pencil are awareness, experience, be self. They're chosen to exist. The skin that sloughs off a Roxy is a little tiny entity experiencing life as a slough. And that little tiny fucking thing right there is a chosen existence. Look at me poking at a God. The God doesn't care because the God is experience and creation. But up here in sentient land, you guys call it, you've deemed self-awareness as something of stature, the audacity to think a tree isn't as clever or as intelligent as you, as a worm is the same as your president in stature. Well, they might be the same in your current president, but they're all gods. And the master knows itself as already. You can decorate yourselves in imagery. You can change your hair and your makeup, your clothes and your haircut and your status. You can eat differently and change your diet. You can smoke or not smoke. You can drink or not drink. You can do all these things to maintain and create acceptance. Your image is creating acceptance when there's nothing to do except accept yourself. Roxanne talk again. She has this one last piece. See, here's the strength of God. Still yet, Roxy's not happy with her boobs. It doesn't say woman enough. So she thinks about surgery still. But she's at one time had no boobs. And now she has. But it's not enough. So even if she gets implants, is the relationship with reality a dependency? Because her mind says, if I get that, then I'll be more woman. When all she has to do is accept herself, and then there's no need. And then the boobs will come, and she'll choose or not. But it still sticks in her mind. She got the looks. She started to see herself as a beauty. And even when she claims the idea of both, that still has a limitation. She's a blending of energies. But for fuck's sakes, do you think there's only male and female in the universe? She thought about that. She's like, how can there be only two vibrations? We just only understand two vibrations. That's what humans know. They don't know what else is potential as an expression that would not be equal to what you understand as both polarities in male and female vibrations. There's whole different worlds and ways to relate that is unimaginable. But yet she needs an identity, but that's back to the key. She sees it just like Colton. You don't have to maintain an image, Roxy. She yells to herself and she goes, I don't know how to let go. So she falls back on, it's okay. And I accept. I accept that I am not the same vibration as what constitutes humanity. Although she is a human, creating the imagery of a relationship called humanity. So the staleness of humanity becomes upsetting. The stale and the dull were friends. They were the mediocrity of your repetition. Getting up, going to work, doing your routine, and coming home. And then fighting gallantly for that. Instead of living. And Roxy's scared. Because she's living. She sees things change in her life. And she wants to embrace those, but they're so grand in fear. Because she doesn't know what it is to go beyond yourself without the comforts of imagery. Can Rose stand without a guide? Of course. But no one can choose for Rose. Daniel, are you good enough to be a composer without the training of Juilliard? Without credentials? Can you let the music pour out of you as Roxanne has crafted her skill of channeling? Everybody's channeling. You all know that. You're all letting creation flow through you. You've been channeling in your entire life. You're channeling the one are all and the all are one every day. And where you place it in relationship to you of truth is your world. It's so simple. It's not tough to be a god. It's just truly acceptance. And all you got to do is, Daniel, is just keep being you. And put out your work. And if your work is not that of someone else's preference, so fuck what? Move on. Keep discovering Daniel, because you do not need an imagery accepted by another as great. Because you're enough on your own. You don't need a resume of life to be accepted when you've already been chosen to exist. Look around, Daniel. I see myself aware of these and those. I feel myself in accordance with this and this belief and truth. I have fear, I have love, and I have happiness and hope and excitement. I have these things. I must be experience. I must be awareness. And that's enough. But it's not enough for the hurried mind of structure. The mind of structure is always constantly doing one thing and one thing only, finding the next thing that gives you the maintenance of imagery. Oh, sure, you can have days off when things look good. When things look good. For the future, you feel safe. You have a net around you. Everything is okay. But as soon as things start to get a little bit out of control and you don't have the certainties of the future, and maybe you start to relate to your own truths, bumping up against them to say, I've got something of a challenge. So my mind says I need to solve it, so I will go and solve it to maintain my safety and security. Because I don't want to face the nakedness alone. I don't want to be barren. I got to have my friends and support around me to offer me shield and protection. And you seek the habits to keep you that. And you want to be smart and successful. You want to have people join in your likes. But what you're joining into is all of creation already in perfect harmony with you. Your parents may not give it to you. They may not show you the perfect harmony of you. Your friends may not show up to your event, Nancy. But if Nancy's okay being with herself, whole God, creating a reality, and she needs no outside support to know that she's enough, then they come. You got to trust the vibration of that authentic that is brighter than anything else in the world, than any marvel of humanity's making discoveries, than any great truth revealed. There is nothing that dwarfs your light, not even the brightest sun. It screeches and pierces through all the bullshit. It tells yourself inside something has changed. And all it has to do is be accepted. What it is to be simple. The complexity of the mind has graduation in hope. It wants you to become better. You guys have goals to become something. You guys have purposes to enslave yourself because you're making excuses on why you cannot move, why you cannot take a chance. Charmaine doesn't need to get on that plane and go back to the UK. she chooses to, she has that experience, but there's no need. Because what's going to happen with her is as she continues to choose what she doesn't want for the acceptance of others and maintenance, not disappointing others or herself, and not being assured that she's a God, then she will have a vibrational frequency become known of that life will become more painful for her because she's not choosing her authentic, because your light's getting brighter, everybody. So imagine, if you will, you trying to grab the sun in your little hands and make it dark. How can you make the sun dark? How can you contain that power? You've been very good at it because you had one simple idea how the universe works. All truths are truth. See, that's how reality's created. You understand? There's no falsities. That's a polarity illusionary. Your truth is that you have false. That's why you have false in awareness. That's why you have mistakes. That's why you have wrongs. See, that's the power of truth. And you not knowing truth created the painful world you lived in, the one that you thought was real. That's reality. But when your knowing is a new truth, not your conceptual mind of convincing and hoping and wondering why, and fear cannot supersede the truth of you. And each and every time you don't speak your truth, as you further this journey, it becomes a little bit harder for you. Don't worry, there's no causality of this. There's no effect. There's no outcome. There's no time in this measurement. Just every now you're going to experience more pain if you choose to keep yourself in that. So Shemaine gets on the plane, goes, does her business, whatever that is. She ties it off. Her turncoat self says, go there and tie things off and then come back and live. And she can do that. She can get married. She can become a U.S. citizen. All your bullshit divisionary countries and flags for another 1,000 years. And all your laws. Fine. But she doesn't have to worry about one of them. Not one. Because the world is perfect and it will take care of itself if she just follows her joy. Because vibration begets vibration. You sustain your truth or you evolve it. It's not that it's never been false, it's the truth of who you were in the sequentialtaneous of the now. And the new truth is who you are. And the next truth is who you shall be. And it is undeniable because you cannot not create your truth, because that is the creation of reality. And since you are always the experiencer and the creator simultaneously, there's no escaping your truth. You're going to be forever I am. That I am. And what that I am part is your truth. How do we do that, Roxy says. Not the truth. She knows the truth. But the how-to needs no longer to be howed. Karen in the class has an issue. Karen perceives she has an issue. Karen wants to talk about it, which is perfect because that's godly, is it not? But once she recognizes those new truths about herself, then it becomes a master who chooses those truths or rejects them out of their own mind of convincing. Maybe their mind is more authoritative than their heart. Maybe that's the worthiness challenged. It's not right or wrong. It's everybody's fucking truth. Everybody gets to choose that. That's why we're eternal, to reiterate that. If we had one sustaining a truth, we would have collapsed right back into limitation of truth. But since truth is ever choosable, changeable, never permanent, and never static, then we are forever. So Karen, I'm not sure if you have the ability to speak. You want to give it a shot? She was invited in by Roxy to talk about this because Roxy got the email and there's just too much dynamic. Can you say something, darling?
Can you hear me?
Oh, we hear you fine. Look at that.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, and thank you for joining us tonight. We understand you're a bit nervous. And that's exciting. You gave yourself a new reality. Even this turns out to be one of the shittiest choices you've ever had. At least you got some new shit to play with. You got some more fuel for the fire.
That's right.
So you have an idea, and let's talk about it. Now, before we go, you got to understand one thing about this class. This is a very naked class. We don't care about your dramas. There's nothing but acceptance in here. The classes ripped each other up and motherfuck each other. Oh yeah, plenty of times. Because we're just understanding our relationships of our truth that no longer service us in our own harmony. So just know that you are among friends. And by the way, when Jesus says, I know you all as friends, maybe that gives you a clue. That's all we are to each other. We're just all BFFs. Go ahead, Karen.
Okay, where do I start? I don't know.
You start just by starting. What you don't do is think. Don't make this perfect. Get it
Okay.
out. Don't
Okay.
make it more dramatic. Try to make me understand your pain.
Got it.
Don't guide a conditioned answer.
Okay. My problem my problem is this. I want out of my job.
You what?
I want to get out of my job. I don't
There it
like,
is.
yeah.
There it is. Perfect. All right. All right. Now we're going to get a little gutsy. Keep going.
All right. I know, but I realized something today. I always thought I wanted to go down the healing path, and I always was stuck in the lack and not being able to take any classes or any training for it. But I realized something today.
Uh-oh. A truth.
A truth that I always wanted to like get people, raise people up and raise their awareness to get out of this shit.
Funk.
And I can't do that. It's not up to me.
Right. It's up to them.
So maybe I don't even want the healing business after all.
Well, healing is many modalities. It is a modality of an awareness, so it is a truth, so it can be embraced. But as you say, it's got to be your truth.
That's the thing. I don't know what my truth is. All I know is I go to work every
There
day.
There it is. There it is.
Yes.
See? No. I'm gonna point some stuff out, okay?
Okay.
You don't know what your truth is in confinement because you're looking for an image. Your
Yeah.
truth is right now. Can Karen be enough just because she was chosen to exist? Yes or no?
Yes.
Then you don't need to be a healer. You don't need to be a channeler. You don't need to be a spiritualist. You don't need to be Dick. What's going to happen, I assure you, is that no matter what you think, feel, or do, you're always going to be you. See, you can't extinguish your own existence. So every idea of the now has been, always will be, and always shall be your truth. It's always
God.
been who you are in the now. See, people look for passion, but passion means, what am I supposed to do with my passion? Well, now is passion. Passion is taking a great dump in the morning. To give you an idea of passion, it's what you do in the now that is a relationship that has no eradications or vibrations. And when you find those, you got to coalesce those. So right now, your life is in turmoil because you keep going to something you don't want to do. Now, I want you to be honest and I want you to slow down. I really want you to be an open self God. What will happen if you quit your job? Talk about it.
What would happen? I would have to move. I would not
Stop
live in.
there. Stop there.
Okay.
I would have to move. Why? Because I don't have the money to pay the rent. So I'll be homeless. See, now that's why you go to work every day, because you fear the unknown. And you fear the unknown based upon the known. You have no fucking idea what happened. Go ahead and say that. Damn, Karen. What? I have no fucking idea.
All right.
There you go.
I have no idea.
And
You're
you'll
right.
never find out if you keep choosing your pain. Until what? Oh, something better will come along, or I'll go get training to change my life. And all you have to do is stop what you are not and choose what you are, and your whole life will change. It may not be rainbows and lollipops, and all of a sudden all the angels come sweeping in what you think, but I guarantee you this, you have everything you need in the now. So you got to learn that your filters are relating vibration. If you expect the world to be a certain way, right? Then that's your expectation of vibration of lack upon the world of the future. When you let go of this safeties and securities of life, you know what's going to happen? You're going to see that everything around you in a lot of relationships turn into dependencies that were unaware. You relied on your home as a dependency, but see, now the mind goes, well, if I don't have a home, I'm going to be homeless, or I'm going to be a vagabond or a wanderer. See, that's where the mind goes, because the mind only knows finites of polarity. But that's what you need to allow and not pay attention to discover the unknown. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. Yes.
But it takes big brass balls, doesn't it?
Real big ones. Yeah. Yep.
Are you single?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you beautiful?
Yes.
Oh, that took a little effort there. Well, see, single came easy, but beautiful, yes, yeah. So maybe you need to go in the mirror. You single mom?
Yes.
How
My
old?
kid, my kids are older though. They're in their 20s.
Okay. Well,
Oh. But
20s.
they live with me.
There you go. Okay, see, 20s doesn't mean they're gone, because 18 is now 28, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you still have that performance of expectations of mom. Yes or no?
Definitely.
All right, then. So now you can see all these truths that you maintain. That's the only thing we're showing you here. What we do is expose through experience of life. You expose to yourself the potential of your own limitations to be realized so you can allow them to be accepted. And just say, I'm scared shitless of creation. I don't want to quit. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to endure what's comfortable. I'm going to live my mediocrity and keep my job. That's what I'm going to do. That's your excuse of life. And you can do that because that is your truth. But when you have an awareness in you that supersedes that truth, a little voice in your heart that says it's okay, something else is coming if you go and show up. If you're always looking this way, you can't see what's over here. When you stop trying to keep being this, you just stop, and all of a sudden, all this reality comes in that world I was talking about, the relationship around you. the way you see things turns into what you have always needed and wanted and to have and to hold for imagery. And then what happens literally is you start to relate to your reality differently. So poor is no longer poor. Having is what you are now. Potential of your experience is what you're going to have if you trust and release yourself from what's keeping you contained. You can make all the excuses you want. You didn't have a good education. You don't have good enough looks. You didn't make the right moves with the pick the wrong men in your life. You can fight for the limitations of, bastardizing your mom and dad for the discrepancies they gave you about your own worthiness. And you can do all that stuff because that's an easy way to understand your pain. And you can compassion and console yourself and lick your wounds. Absolutely, you can. But you also know that everyone now is understood as their own individual forgotten self remembered. Just like Roxy can't be offended anymore. She had to sit in that and let it pass through her and let creation be experienced and come alive as she allowed her anger and her. She was mad. She was like, why do you have to do that? You got a beautiful human being that is so innocent and beautiful, but your fucking perverted mind thinks a man is all of a sudden getting his fucking jollies because he's in a ladies' changing room that's all covered with curtains and there's doors, and it's, the changing room was bigger than this fucking apartment. And he's sitting there on his phone. See, that's blind. And that's what you are. That's your truth. It's not blind and bad. It's blind that you don't know the higher truth. And once you do, though, Karen, you can choose it. You can choose to quit today. You never have to do anything again. But what you're going to experience is a whole lot of fucking fear.
Yeah.
A whole lot of anxiety and angst. Because you're going to be releasing and shedding all of these. But what you can't do is take action to keep yourself safe and secure. Because if you do, then you keep the vibration in relationship to your worthiness. In other words, you sustain your unworthiness. You're not worthy to have a life of freedom. And I'm not talking about a life of abundantly wealthy and money and monetary and physical things. Once you understand the relationship, then you get all those things. Some people already have all those big ideas. You can get all those things. You can have the big honking houses or a small house. You can have a hovel or a tiny little house on you pull in the back of your Subaru Outback. You can do that. But you have to understand your relationship to reality is harmonistic and allowance. And then creation returns. Don't try to be a creator in maintenance because you're really good at that. You're very good at creating your same self. Let me ask you a question. How long you been at the spiritual thing? All right, say no more. And you're still the same train wreck, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not a distraction to be a god. It's a self-exploration. And you got to go through the idea of humility. You got to be humbled in your pride. You have to swallow the pain of what you have been, the embarrassment of what you did in your life, and endure that embarrassment of mistakes that you coveted as a truth. And as soon as you feel that, you're like, damn it, I did that. And you feel that emotional relationship that gives you the vibration of embarrassment and failure. And then you feel you have to change it because that's what everyone says. Dull it up. So, 80% of humanity takes drugs. They have a drink. They get blitzed for a while to disappear from their pain. But masters endure their pain. But not out of like awesomeness with pride at the end and look what I did, because that's sustaining the pain. Because pride is presence of accomplishment, so you can have some kind of badge of honor to decree as some kind of hero image sustained. You're not going to be homeless, Karen. You're a God. I can tell you this, you're not interested in homelessness. You're not interested in going down here. What you are interested in is understanding how you are relating to reality in your own prison, being the prisoner and the guard at the same time.
Exactly.
That's what you're interested in. So we're not saying that you can quit, have to quit, or should quit. We're saying you have a choice. See, just like the idea of what you said, a healer can't make them feel better. They have to choose. Yeah, they do. But Roxy's not a healer, but she's allowing people to see their truth. So you can do the same thing by being Karen. You don't have to be a passion of a channel or a modality of some kind of healer, because no one's broken. But I sure as shit assure you this, you can be one badass dragon if you start just speaking your truth. So maybe let's look at you and work now. What do you do?
Oh, I work for a stupid toy crane machine company.
There you go.
Very boring.
A stupid, boring job. So guess what? She's going to work, and everything that she sees in front of her, stupid and boring. So her relationship is that truth, therefore the experience is such reality. Now we all are starting to see how realities, truths are spoken, become realities experienced. And they're all sequential things. Now this isn't your fault, Karen. This is the default, is the idea of Ka said, to see that this is the way you're relating to reality. Okay?
Yeah.
So maybe you go to work with a little bit of more dragon in you. You start to not really give a shit about different things. You just go, no, and you start to go about your now. But that moment comes, and it's going to be a teeter-tottering effect of, no, it's ready, but I'm not. And you just sing it out, and then next thing you know, you fucking choose. You just go ahead and start to be you. Everyone remembers that point. It was one time you said, you know what? I'm going to learn to be me. I'm going to find out who I am. And then you have these continual moments of keep choosing your worthiness, releasing the unworthiness. The unworthiness is going to be felt because it's an experience. You will never be numb to reality. You illusion yourself in your own pain, used to being numb, but as soon as you realize the pain you're in by being your truth, then you still feel what you have numbed. Does that make sense, baby?
Yeah.
So we can go into details and give you a plan and a couple of steps on what to do, or we can say, Karen, you're a God. Your life has been because you're a God. Your life as will be is because you're a God. And gods are their own truth. And each chosen truth every now becomes a reality experienced. It's the easiest thing to see. I am, therefore I am. Does that make sense, baby?
Yeah. It does. Perfect sense.
Now you feel it, and I know you do. You feel the sensibility in it, but you still have quandaries inside of you. You still have shudders and little things because you're just getting your little baby feet, your little birthing eyes are waking up of worthiness, and you're not
Yeah.
real sure what the hell to do. Well, I know you have a heart. You have a self that says, I am. Listen to that dragon, because she is not contained in Karen. She is creation, uncontained. I say let her out. Get to know her. You following me?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And remember, there's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing. Once you just choose one little tiny here, one little tiny there, you're going, holy shit. You know what? It's not that bad. It's really not playing out like my mind said. You remember you did a project, you tried it, and everyone, every single one, I haven't found one yet, says, man, it turned out nothing like I thought it would.
Exactly.
There's always the dynamic of the unknown that's part of all creation. No matter how much you try to create a limited creation, you will have creation unknown arriving. That's the experience of new truths.
Got it. Yep.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Say hi to your kids. Oh, one last thing. Your kids are gods. As soon as you start to become friends, instead of a relationship of roles, and that goes everywhere in your life, then you see the power and beauty of the harmony returned. What two gods can create. Co-creation is what we are. We're all one, being the all. Let them in as friends, as relationship of allowance. You have duties and motherly conditioning. You have ways to react to them because you have an image of them. Those can be depleted by your allowance, your mastery of accepting who they are. They're
Yeah.
not kids, they're gods. Cultivate them, but not out of obligation. If they become bloodsuckers, kick them to the motherfucking curb because they're gods. And they'll realize that they can with their own worthiness returned. But as long as there's a feeding trough, so now understand how they are. When they're co-creators, there's never an idea of a dependency noticed. But when they are becoming the harmony of dependency and reliability, then you can give them an opportunity to cultivate them in awareness of their own righteousness. Give them their worthiness back. Be friends with them. And if they don't accept your bright light, let them go. Let them fly. You don't want to keep them nestled. You following?
Yeah. Definitely. Gotcha.
Very good.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining in tonight. It's good to have you here.
Thank you for allowing me.
Yes, well, thanks you for brightening your light up. Booyah. All right, guys. Look at this beautiful class. Look at all these entities here together, exploring themselves. Oh, Janet. Janet, how are you, darling?
I'm okay, thank you.
Good. Everything
Can you hear
good?
me? Oh,
Yeah.
Hold on, I just had to turn the volume up, sorry.
How's your cigarettes? Good?
Yes,
Still got them, yeah?
yes,
Good. Keep enjoying them because you can.
I'm trying, just staying in my nows.
You don't have to try anymore, baby. You're
Yeah.
closer to releasing. But see, these are your truths that you blend through you. You still are wondering, you're still hoping, you're still that, and you can let go even more. You can't allow that much more every now. When the mind quickens you to judge the reality of time, that's when you can accept.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, darling. Excuse me, Felicia, what is that in the chat? She's still here? Yes.
Yes, I'm here. I was just so asked a number and I was giving one.
We lost you on
Can
the
you
internet.
hear me?
No, your connection's kind of wonky. What is that? Oh, for someone to text you?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if it's somewhere specific. Evelyn, do you have something, darling?
No, that was for me. I was trying to get Felicia's phone number, and so
I gotcha.
that's what happened. Okay.
Well, thank you, darling. Thank you for offering clarity. As Roxy was like, oh, she need to do something. So every time you guys find a new portion of yourself, you allow reality to become more unknown to the known. It's always going to become known, guys. You will never not know you of the unknown. That's what forevers is. That's what's forever for. See, when you choose to contain your known because the unknowns are too daunting, fearful, don't make sense, or too much of a risk for all the things you've created in status. No, that's just a simple choice of a God creating a reality for the individual experience. None of you matter. Nothing you ever done has ever mattered. Everything is perfection, existence that is immeasurable. You can't take creation and confine it to relevant or irrelevant. You can't take creation and label it in a quandary of, let's say, substitutions of classes. But you can, because that's the truth of you. But it is a truth of the way you relate to reality as a separation idea. And you can all come back. And when you do start to come back, then the classes shift, as you all have seen. The classes are getting much more grander and open and broader. We're starting to bring little things in that just allow this little shiny light to become more. They're not so much lessonary. I get to expand and understand me today because of the classes. You all are in your futures playing with me in different ways and exploring yourselves already. Already you are becoming larger than you can imagine. So the way you get there, not in speed, not in hurry, is in the now. The now is so fast and still at the same time. It's so full of life, you can't realize how much vibration is coursing through you until you slow down and stop caring about what you think you should be, what the commands of life are asking you to be. And of course, your own disappointments and your own judgments against yourselves and your brethren. Those are the things that are ready to go bye-bye. And you can release them by being your truth. Stepping into your own isness and saying, I am angry. I am mad. I am upset that I have found something about myself. I know it's good for me, but right now I'm going to be a little bit pissed off about it. As Roxy was offended today at someone just being a god. That's all they were doing. So know this. The classes shall continue to grow. They'll get more expansive and unbelievable to where it's going to become so natural that you would have never even noticed that the classes would ever be better. Because that's what unknown is. You never get worse. You only get better. And if you can imagine doing that forever, which may show you you don't have to choose your pain. Do I have any questions? Anybody? Hey, Daniel, how's the, we'll get to you, Tammy, real quick. How's the music composing for the podcast? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, I haven't done it yet.
Not the right now.
Apparently not. No.
When it comes, it'll come.
Yeah.
Let it pour out. Don't make it perfect,
Yeah. Well,
because then it'll be perfect. Whenever you make perfection, you sustain it limited.
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. I actually really noticed how I was doing that in relation to my music on a deep level yesterday. I was like, I'm doing music, and I realized like I'm completely like wanting to make something out of this. I'm not having any fun at all.
No fun.
I'm chilled out, and then like yesterday and today, I just kind of been like fucking around and like having a good time with it. And
Feels good to be a
Yeah.
creator in the now instead of sustaining the box of limitry.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it does. It's amazing.
Damn right.
So, in a sense, it's coming along then because this is a step.
Damn
It's like
right.
done it the old way. It's all part of it.
It's never. It's a revelation, is what it is more than a step. A step is a time of a journey. You're journeying forever, so there's no steps. It's just a revelation in the moment. Okay. Don't have to label it so much.
Yeah, that's the linear sort of thinking.
Then it's okay. Just
Yeah.
recognize it. Next time, I don't need to measure it. Always in the now. Okay, kid?
Okay.
Very good, darling. Tammy, you have something?
A story that I just really wanted to share. This was so cute. I walked into a store last week, and I know the owner that runs it, and I was talking to her, and she had a 4-year-old daughter. Her daughter was sitting there with her, and she was saying that grandma's coming to pick her up. And I said, oh, that's nice. What are you going to do at grandma's house? And she said, I'm going to go out back of grandma's and hunt triceratops. And I said, you are? How cool is that? And her mother looks at her and goes, you know, there's no such thing as triceratops. And she looks at me and she goes, triceratops lives out back of grandma's. And I was standing between her and her mother, you know, said, Kennedy, you need to stop that. And I looked at Kennedy, and the look that she gave her mother, like she knows triceratops lives out back. And I know that if that's her truth, triceratops is out there.
Of course it is.
And it was just so cute to see, like, what the hell we do to our goddamn kids, you know?
Yes. But see,
Yeah.
that's just a protective mom trying to make sure her child gets serious about life so she can be successful and not a failure in imagination.
Exactly. I want to go to grandma's and see the triceratops. Yeah, it was just cute.
That's beautiful. I love that. Love that. Judith, what do you got? Thank you for sharing, Tammy. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Hi, Judith.
I just wanted to share. I missed like the majority of class because my phone died, but I heard like the very beginning, and then I just popped back in. But just like, I just wanted to share just the clarity that those little like tidbits have given me on stuff that's been weighing on me for a couple of days. I told you the other day I started a new job as a waitress, and was like looking at it as a job, and then you said to just look at it as going to experience, and that's
Yes.
what I'm doing. And so there are these two twin brothers that work with me. They're both gorgeous. So that's made work really fun.
That made work really fun. Yeah, I bet it did.
And so it was really funny because like I worked the night shift with the lunch shift with one of them, and then like he left, and I was like, oh, and then the other brother walks in. I was like, oh, hey.
Hey.
But and then I was like, well, I mean, they're both flirting like pretty heavily. And then I was like, well, I guess it's whoever asked first.
There
So
you
one
go.
of them did, and then he the night we were supposed to hang out, he said he fell asleep. I was like, that's fine. He's like,
Let
I
it
still
go.
out and stuff, but then like the next day a couple of days later when I saw him at work, I was like all nervous and shy. And I like was afraid to talk to him.
Why? Come on now. You
I was,
know why.
I guess, stupid and afraid to say the wrong thing because I was judging myself. And
Bingo, because now all of a sudden you got attention and you don't want to lose that dependency.
yeah, and
Judith, you're
what you,
enough. They came to you and courted you. And just
yeah,
because you accept the court idea and starting to be a co-creation doesn't mean you need to sustain that relationship.
yeah,
See, they came to you, your light. Roxy doesn't try to maintain you. She doesn't, charge you guys monthly fees to come into the class. It's a one-time fee. She doesn't maintain the class, does she?
no,
Her vibration allows her to passion herself in channeling. And you guys get to come and play, right? So guess what? They want to play with you. But the minute you turn them into something of, man, I'm not worthy of being in their life, then you're looking at yourself in unworthiness as what you have been.
yeah,
Judith, you're enough. You're beautiful. You know you have killer lips and a killer body. You're a beautiful woman. But you don't need to sustain an imagery of that. You stand enough as Judith the God, not Judith the little image girl. I know when you get attention and you get that love, you almost feel embarrassed and you have to, I don't want to fuck it up.
yeah,
So guess what? You're good enough. But again, we can't choose that for you. We create realities through awareness. For you guys, limitation. Make sense?
yeah,
So go choose your awesomeness. Because the twin brothers, perfect. But you can also take a male approach. Okay, let me give you a little bit of a male approach here.
yeah,
Fuck him and leave him. You could do that, right?
yeah,
You're like, oh yeah, had that, I'm done. Notching the belt. And then the relationship changes and you're like, oh. Just be your natural, okay? Yes, and at the same
Jennifer,
time.
don't think.
I was waiting for Jennifer to come in on that one. Took her about another 30 seconds. 30-second delay when she first knew it. She's like,
I
right.
told
And I
my
know
friend,
you have the same thought too.
I said that's why God gave me 2 tits.
Oh my God, I love you. You're like, okay. Well, listen, guys. You see that, Judith. You see, the class sees that you are, oh, I'm afraid. And they feel you because they've all lived it. They are human. They all relate to you. So they all understand the portion of themselves through you right now. Be that of your truth to make your individually, which you can't help, brighter. And brighter is not imagery. That's sustaining dark. Brighter is worthiness. Right? I
Yes.
am. All right. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else, anybody? All right, very good. Well,
Love
again,
you.
what's that, baby?
I love you, Leviticus.
I love you too. And remember, Leviticus that you met, you guys met him at the wedding, that was Leviticus. That's a portion of me. That's a wizard part of me. But see, we are ever evolving. You feel the flavor of Leviticus, but it's not quite Leviticus anymore. Just like you're not anymore what you were. We can't be. Don't be afraid of no image, because you only see something you've never seen. And that's the unknown, and that is exceptional. I'll bring back Miss Roxanne. I love you guys. Stand by.
Bye, Levi.